A strange thing happens when people start doing well in life. They become better decision makers at work, but often worse decision makers with their money. And the purchases usually don't look irresponsible, they look reasonable, which is exactly why smart people keep making them. Take Daniel. Daniel is 32. He works as a project manager in a mid-sized tech company in Chicago. He's responsible with money, he contributes to his retirement plan, he tracks his expenses. But last year, Daniel bought something interesting. Not a luxury car, not designer clothes, a home espresso setup. A beautiful machine, polished steel, professional-grade grinder, precision tools. The total cost? About $2,200. But Daniel didn't see it as spending. He saw it as a smart decision, because he told himself something very logical. I spend $6 every morning at coffee shops. This machine will save me money. And on paper, that sounds perfectly rational. But something subtle happened after the purchase. Daniel didn't stop buying coffee outside, because coffee wasn't the real reason he went to cafes. The cafe had something the espresso machine didn't: atmosphere, a break from work, a place to meet people. So the coffee shop visits continued, just a little less frequently. Instead of 5 days a week, maybe 3. Meanwhile, the espresso machine slowly turned into a weekend hobby, something used occasionally, but not often enough to replace the habit it was supposed to eliminate.
Let's look at the numbers. The setup cost Daniel $2,200. Then there are the hidden extras: beans, maintenance, accessories, roughly $40 a month. That's $480 a year. Over 5 years, that machine cost about $4,600. And because Daniel still buys coffee outside a few times a week, the original expense it was supposed to eliminate never actually disappeared. So instead of replacing a habit, he accidentally stacked 2 lifestyles on top of each other. This happens because of a psychological pattern called rationalized spending. Smart people are very good at building logical stories around purchases. The purchase isn't framed as consumption. It's framed as optimization, a better tool, a smarter system, a productivity upgrade, a long-term investment. And those explanations often sound intelligent enough to bypass our internal warning signals. But the brain quietly ignores one critical question: will this actually replace an existing behavior, or will it simply become an additional one? Because most purchases don't eliminate habits, they layer on top of them. Now imagine this pattern repeating a few times per year. Not reckless spending, just well-justified upgrades. The better kitchen appliance, the professional desk setup, the hobby equipment you plan to use more often. If these reasonable purchases add up to $3,000 a year, the long-term effect becomes significant. Over 20 years, invested modestly, that money could quietly grow to $120,000 or more. Not life-changing wealth, but something more important: flexibility, the ability to work less, take time off, change careers. Small decisions slowly shape how much freedom money can buy. Financially thoughtful people don't necessarily buy fewer things, but they ask a different question before spending. Not, is this purchase logical, but what behavior will this replace? If the answer is nothing, the purchase probably isn't solving a problem. It's simply creating a new layer of lifestyle. And that's why smart people often accumulate things they never truly needed, not because they're careless, but because they're very good at explaining their decisions to themselves. Money rarely disappears in dramatic ways. Most of the time, it quietly fades through perfectly reasonable choices. If you enjoy calm, reality-based discussions about money and financial psychology, consider subscribing.